You know, the world of digital finance really does feel like a modern day gold rush, doesn't it? But for every amazing success story you hear, there's a cautionary tale kind of lurking just under the surface. So today, we're not just going to talk about crypto scams. We're going to tear them apart, piece by piece, so you can navigate this exciting, but yeah, pretty treacherous landscape with total confidence. And that number right there, yeah, that's why we're talking about this. That's not a typo. Billions with a B have been lost to the exact schemes we're about to break down. This isn't some tiny niche problem. It's a massive financial threat. And honestly, understanding how it all works is your absolute first line of defense. Period. All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll dive into the digital gold rush that's pulling so many people in. Then, we'll go head to head with the two biggest threats out there, the impersonators and the old disappearing act. After that, we'll arm you with a crypto defense manual, unpack why this matters on a grand scale, and finally, reveal your ultimate shield against all these digital predators. Okay, first things first, let's get a feel for the landscape. What's the siren song that's luring so many people to these digital shores? Well, it's the promise of decentralized freedom, of rewriting the financial rulebook, and of course, the allure of potentially life-changing returns. But you know how it goes. Where there's a gold rush, there are always claim jumpers. This is the classic double-edged sword, right? The very same technology that empowers people and fuels incredible innovation also just swings the door wide open for those who want to exploit trust and enthusiasm. It's the same old story of risk versus reward, just playing out in a totally new digital world. So let's zero in on our first major threat. I like to call them the impersonators. This is one of the oldest tricks in the digital playbook, but believe me, it's been given a high-tech, crypto-specific makeover. We're talking about phishing attacks. So what is phishing exactly? Think of it like a digital con artist in a perfect disguise. Scammers will create a perfect copy, masquerading as a trusted platform you use every day, like MetaMask or Binance. Their goal? It's brutally simple: to trick you into handing over the keys to your entire digital kingdom. And here's their playbook. It's a devastatingly simple three-step dance. Step 1, they create the bait, a super convincing fake website. Step 2, they set the trap, usually with a message designed to hit your panic button. And then step 3, if you take the bait, they're in. They get access, and they can drain your funds, often in just a matter of seconds. Okay, now this is where it gets genuinely scary. Look closely at the screen. The only difference between the real site and the scam site is a single letter, an L disguised as an I. That's it. That is how easily you can be fooled if you're not paying razor-sharp attention. It's a tiny, almost invisible detail with potentially catastrophic consequences. And these attacks have gotten so much more sophisticated than just a bogus email. Scammers are now using fake browser extensions, they're sliding into your DMs, pretending to be customer support, where they're hitting you with terrifying but totally fake alerts that your account is compromised. It's all about social engineering, preying on our most natural instincts of trust and fear. All right, let's move on from impersonation to another equally nasty threat. We're calling this one the disappearing act, and it's a type of scam that has become absolutely rampant in the world of decentralized finance, or DeFi. We are talking about rug pulls. A rug pull is, well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Imagine a group of developers launches a shiny new project. They generate a ton of hype, get everyone to pour their money in, and then one morning, poof, they're just gone. The project's dead, the developers have vanished, and they've taken all the money with them. That's a rug pull. And they come in two main flavors. You've got your hard rug pulls, which are like a sudden lightning strike. Malicious code lets the developers drain everything in an instant. Then you have soft rug pulls, which are more like a slow, creeping betrayal. The developers might gradually sell off their tokens, or just abandon the project, letting it die on the vine while they cash out. But both end the exact same way, with investors left holding an empty, worthless bag. The crucial thing here is to understand their playbook. First, they launch a new token, usually with a flashy marketing campaign and wild promises about going to the moon. Second, they lure in a flood of investors who are all chasing those sky-high returns. And finally, once enough money is in the pot, they pull the plug, yanking all the real value out and leaving investors with nothing but digital dust. Okay. We've seen the threats, we've stared into the abyss. Now for the most important part. How do you fight back?
We're shifting from problems to solutions. This is your personal crypto defense manual, your guide to fortifying your digital assets. Think of this as your field guide for spotting danger before it strikes. For phishing, your alarm bells should be screaming anytime you get an unsolicited message, see a misspelled URL, or get one of those urgent act now or else alerts. For rug pulls, you have to be extremely wary of anonymous teams, a lack of independent audits, and any project that dangles the carrot of guaranteed high returns. Remember, in crypto, nothing is ever guaranteed. And here are your action items. This is your protection checklist, your personal set of rules for staying safe. First, always, and I mean always, double-check URLs before you click. Second, enable two-factor authentication on every single platform that offers it. Third, and this is non-negotiable, never, under any circumstances, share your seed phrase. For larger amounts, seriously consider using a hardware wallet for an extra layer of security. And finally, before you invest in any new project, do your homework. Check for locked liquidity and research the team behind it. A little due diligence can save you a world of hurt.
So, we know how to protect ourselves on an individual level, but why does this all matter on a bigger scale? Let's zoom out for a second and take a look at the bigger picture, at the ripple effects these scams have on the entire crypto ecosystem. You see, the fallout from these scams is massive. Every successful scam is like another crack in the foundation of trust. It makes everyday people and big institutions hesitant to get involved, which slows down the growth of what could be a truly revolutionary technology. It's like a poison that seeps into the well, making everyone afraid to drink. This chart really says it all, doesn't it? Scams directly attack investor trust, which takes a major hit. That, in turn, slams the brakes on institutional adoption. The big money just stays on the sidelines. And what happens when trust is low and people are losing their shirts? You get a massive increase in regulatory scrutiny, which can sometimes end up stifling innovation. So, with all these threats, all these challenges, with all these digital predators lurking in the shadows, what is the single most powerful tool you have at your disposal? What is your ultimate shield, your unbreakable defense? It's this. This simple but incredibly profound quote from our source material really sums it all up. Technology can help, for sure, but nothing, and I mean nothing, beats being an informed, vigilant, and a skeptical participant. Your knowledge isn't just power, it's your best armor in this new digital frontier. And that brings us to our final and maybe most important thought. You know, the great promise of crypto is decentralization. No banks, no central authorities, no gatekeepers. But that also means there's no one to call if you get scammed. There's no safety net to catch you if you fall. So the question we'll leave you with is this. In this brave new world, who is truly in charge of protecting your assets? The answer, of course, is you. You are the ultimate guardian.